Hey guys, Frostborn just released a new update. I'm seeing if anyone's playing on the OBT right now. I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing this update because it's not a lot of new content. Mainly they changed a lot of like small things and they're really interesting to know, but it's kind of like it's a good update in the sense that the devs are kind of making some good changes, but it's not really that big of an update as far as like, hey, new content. It's not Jotunheim, it's not any of those things, but it has some good stuff. So let's go into all of the changes that they've made. So while we're here in the world map, you can see that Jotunheim still says next update. Even here this is the OBT, so the update is out in this update. And it still says Jotunheim is the next update. If you guys have not heard yet, Frostborn is undergoing a really exciting time where the devs are deciding what they're going to do with the game next. And Jotunheim is next on the list, but a lot of Frostborn players are pushing hard for the arena to come after that. That way we have a place that we can always find PvP, get really good at PvP. It makes any type of PvP events, anything else that we do, better because we'll have a place to get really good at it. And a place to earn gear. So right now there's an issue with people teaming in the zone right now, and this update does not fix the teaming issues, or at least we don't know of it. We'll see once the update comes out, we'll be able to test some of the algorithms, but they would have probably mentioned it in the dev notes and they didn't. This update that we're talking about right now, it's not gonna fix the teaming in the Freyr's land because, you know, these are still non-PvP. Nothing's really any different about that. So if that's what you were really hoping they would change, doesn't seem like that's the plan for this update. But they are making these plans for what is going to be coming after Jotunheim, the battle arena, shipping routes, and Sanctum of Thor. This is not the official roadmap. This is a roadmap that we made on a live stream a couple weeks ago, but I've looked at a lot of the other roadmaps that you guys have been making and sending to the devs, and a lot of them are similar. I feel like a lot of the Frostborn community is really on board with a lot of these ideas. So if you did not know about this, it's too late to submit your own timeline, but the devs have already been thinking about it and they're going to announce the winner and kind of their own official timeline here very soon. So be on the lookout for that video, because when the devs announce it, it is going to give us a really clear picture of what the devs, you know, obviously what their plans are for the future of Frostborn. And that should be a thing of curiosity to any Frostborn player, but really any player in the world, I think, should be curious. If they have any interest in Frostborn whatsoever, they might join it if it, you know, really takes off. That is the video you're going to want to watch. Okay, so back to this update. It doesn't look like there are any algorithm changes to Freyr's Land, but the problem is I can't actually be 100% sure because it's the OBT. We can go around and look and see if anyone's here. Doesn't look like anyone's here. Ooh, almost got knocked off my wolf. Oh, my faithful wolf. This is great. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's here. And that's just because it's the OBT, and it's also not that exciting of an OBT, so a lot of people aren't going to be here. So I couldn't really see if they're able to team up, but my guess is they are. The only way for them to fix teaming under this context and the stuff that we haven't been able to see is if they fix the zones to reset quicker, which we probably actually wouldn't like. It'd make it harder to find PvP. There are much better ways to fix teaming, but it's probably going to take them a little while. And the best way to fix it, in my opinion, is the arena that we just talked about. And if they had fixed it, they probably would have announced it in their dev notes. And if they were going to fix it, they probably would have put it here in the dev notes, and they didn't. So the first thing that they said is that a lot of this update is about under the hood changes. You know, you got the login process and authentication in like Google Play Store and your iOS. I am 90% sure that what this means is that, you know, sometimes an account, you have account linked and then you'll wake up one day and you get on and your account's gone, or you get on and there's just a bunch of rumors out there, and really, you probably never experienced that, but you probably, if you're part of the Frostborn community, you've probably heard of someone, and they're rare, but they're really scary when that happens, because all of a sudden your account's gone, or your vault is empty, or whatever the situation is. It might be a rare instance, but it bothers you because you put so much time in it, and you have to talk to customer support, and they'll eventually get you your base back, but it could be weeks sometimes before you get your account back, and some people have quit the game by then and don't even realize that their account has been restored. So I'm 90% sure that that's what they're talking about. More stable and secure, you're less likely to lose your account, which is amazing. It is also a little concerning because anytime that the devs fix something, there can also be issues in that specific area. So it might actually, when the first update comes out, it might actually get worse before it gets better. I don't know if that's true. This is just me speaking out of my experience with gaming. The devs have not said any of this, but that would be my concern, is that it might get worse before it gets better. But it is awesome that they're making it better, because that is a way to really get people to hate Frostborn, is when they lose their account. The next change that they have on here is that they fix it to where there'll be an AFK warning if you're just kind of sitting here. So I'm going to test that out. We're going to just let it sit here for a little while. And it's designed to keep it to where you won't die of hunger and thirst. So we're going to sit here, let it do that. I'm going to talk about some of the other changes that they made while we sit here to see if we can get that AFK warning to pop up. Another thing that they changed is that there were players complaining that they went to a non-PvP zone and a player attacked them in that non-PvP zone. Those weren't players. Those were bots. It said like Viking Elder, Viking whatever, Viking Berserker, Viking Wizard, all of those different things. Those guys were actually bots. So apparently they changed the visuals and names to prevent future or further confusion, which in my mind, I think that means that they changed them to not a human, which I'm really excited about. I want to know, so we're going to go check that out as well. We're going to try to find one of those bots and see, what did they change it to? What, is it like a wolf now, or what did they do? Because if it obviously can't look like a player if it's going to prevent this confusion. So I'm excited to see. We're going to do that right after the AFK warning. The next change they made, some of you guys might not like it, but it's actually a really good change, and that is that they made it to where only 5 traps can be in an area per person. And so if you are defending your base, you can only put 5 traps at a time. Now, some of you might be like, well, that's horrible. I already put like 40 traps in my base. What you don't realize is that your game is actually probably a little bit more laggy because of all of those traps. So by removing it, your game will be less laggy. But more than that, it also helps the balance of the game, because if someone attacks your base and they're just putting lines and lines and lines of traps in your base, then it loses some of your defensive advantage. And so meanwhile, as long as you haven't placed those traps yet and you can kind of place them where you want, you have the sight advantage. So you can just hide behind a wall where they can't see you, and you can decide, where do I want to place the next trap? Whereas they won't know where the trap is. And so it also makes it to where if they're going to be coming into your base and they're putting a trap and a trap, eventually they're going to get to the point where, as long as you don't break their old traps, they can't place traps anymore, and you can now place traps and to defend your base. So only place a trap when someone's breaking that wall. Let them place the trap on the first few, but if they're breaking a wall and they didn't put a trap, then put it down right there so that they'll get stunned as they break the wall. There we go. We got it. Okay, you'll be disconnected in 30 seconds. That's awesome. Okay, so the editor of this video is going to put in right here in the comment, or just in some text, how long that was. I think it was like 5 minutes maybe, but they'll put the exact time because they'll be able to see it. They'll cut it down so you don't have to watch it all, but this time right here is how long before that AFK warning pops up. All right, let's go look for one of those bots. One thing to note is it says something in the dev notes here. I'll show you guys. It says here in the dev notes that you can pick up excess traps set at the home camp. Otherwise, they'll be deleted in time. And I don't know what that means about picking up a trap. So we're going to try that when we get back home. But I'm really confused on what they're meaning there. Okay, so we're in this zone. We're just going to ride around until we see a bot. And I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm really curious. There we go. We found one. Ghost Magician. What in the world? That doesn't look any... That still looks like a player. Ghost Magician. This still looks like a player. It just looks like a player named something different. Okay. Y'all gotta, like, change the way they look. Or you gotta say, this is a bot. I don't know. But that doesn't... Ghost Magician is not any better than Viking Magician. Maybe make them... Oh, maybe they're not done yet. Maybe in this OBT they haven't quite finished the visuals. But maybe they're going to make them look like the bosses in the zones. You know, where they kind of look invisible, but they're still the same, like, 3D model, but they're kind of see-through a little bit. That would clarify some things. Personally, I think they should just get rid of the name. Like, it should just be, you know, when I'm fighting a wolf or this shaman, he doesn't have a name over him. You know what I mean? I think they need to make it clearer than that, because that still just looked like I was fighting a guy named Ghost Magician. They're still going to have the same confusion in my mind. They also should change the icon from a red arrow to like a purple arrow, or something that just signifies this is not a real person. It doesn't remind us of PvP. So anyways, but it didn't bother me because I already knew they were bots. You shouldn't be bothered, because just know, hey, they're bots. If you're in a non-PvP zone, just know you're fighting against a bot. But I do think that if the devs want them, people to stop complaining, they're going to have to do more than what they just saw. Okay, we got 6 fire traps and 2 stun traps. Let's go over here, and we're going to place all of them. What just happened? They're invisible. Okay, this might be a bug to the... They're just disappearing. Too close to... Okay, so they're there somewhere, but they're a little bugged out. Not sure what's going on there. Alright, let's just keep placing them. Okay, that should be 5, so let's see the limit. It let us place... It's still letting us place them. Well, so obviously they haven't quite gotten here yet. Because they let me place all of the traps that I wanted to place. So I just placed 8 traps. Should be able to only place 5, unless this doesn't count as my territory, which that actually might be the case. I might have placed 5 here, and then I can place 5 here. I don't know. But anyways, obviously this is bugged. We can't even see the traps. And so I don't know if there's going to be a way for me to like pick up the traps. I really hope there is. But it doesn't look like... I don't see a way to pick them up. So I don't know. The last thing they have in their dev notes is they say that if you encounter any problems with your account, to report it to customer support. And so this actually confirms, or not confirms, but it makes me think I might be right about what I said earlier about how, when they make changes to an area, that it might actually get worse before it gets better. So if you lose your account, guys, make sure to report it to the devs so they know, they can be like, okay, here we go. Let's fix it. They're probably going to be, hopefully they're going to be ready to deal with as many as come up. But it's a great change that they're fixing this, that they're going to make it better. And then so if you go to settings at the top right and you click report, you can see that they have a really good system for reporting bugs now. Please, they're asking us, please report this, not just in the OBT, but in the game. They say it helps them a lot. It already gives them the account. It tells them exactly what to look for. They just go straight into your account and see what happened. And guys, they give rewards for reporting stuff like this. Like, not only do they give you your stuff back if you lost it sometimes, but there's a rumor going around that one guy reported. Now, it wasn't just a bug. I think it was like someone was abusing the game, but I'm pretty sure he got a white wolf. That's the rumor, is the devs gave him a white wolf as a reward for reporting. So I don't even know if that's 100% true. I haven't, fact checked it, but if that does sound somewhat similar, that it had to be an amazing thing that they reported. But the point is, report things. The devs are going to start loving you, and when the devs love you, good things happen. So report stuff, do it, help the game out, make those reports so that they can spend less time working on those things and more time developing this, roadmap and all of these things that we're wanting for the game. So that's it, guys, for this update. It's a small update, but it's a good update. They're fixing good things that need to be fixed in the game, things that have been a bottleneck for Frostborn's growth, and things that once they fix those, they're going to be able to start working on stuff like this. Jotunheim being the next. Typically, the devs will do one of these little bug fix updates, and then they'll do a bigger update, and then they'll do a bug fix update, and then they'll do a bigger update. The last update was amazing. They fixed a lot of the issues in Frostborn. It wasn't Jotunheim, which is what a lot of us are looking forward to, but it was, honestly, I'm so glad they fixed the game before even adding Jotunheim, because Jotunheim's going to be fun, but it's only going to be fun if the game itself is fixed. And so what they did last update was amazing. This update is less exciting to us, but it's still a good update. Hopefully the devs will keep adding good content. And then once they add the arena, I think after that, if we're able to have fun constantly in this game, then I think that an update will just be like oh wow, that's exciting, but it won't be like when's the next update? I think right now a lot of players are like waiting for that next update because they're like, well, I need more content to play. But the battle arena is going to give us infinite content, so all of the content they add after that will probably just be bonus, which is amazing. So that's it, guys. I'll see you next time.